The Summons by John Grisham, a story of how money causes paranoia and distrust.
Having a large sum of money affect almost everybody and the way they act. This type of situation could be harmful to the relationships and your everyday life. The Summons by John Grisham, who is a lawyer who was inspired by a 12-year-old rape victim to bring light to the legal system and the repercussions of court cases on the people involved in them. The light is shed through the summons. In this story, the main character, Ray Atley, a law professor at the University of Virginia, returns home to Clinton, Mississippi, when Ray received a letter because his father was going to die very soon and needed to discuss the terms of his estate. When Ray arrives, his father is presumed dead, causing him to become unsettled and having to calm himself down for a few hours. When he finally comes down, he looks through his father's items and finds boxes with about $3 million in them. Being surprised, Ray starts to investigate where the money came from and whether it was dirty money. He doesn't tell anyone the true amount of money that he found. He starts to become suspicious of everybody around him, causing him to distance himself from others, even his brother Forrest. In short, keeping a secret can cause a person's relationship with others to become more difficult due to the paranoia it causes. The main relationship this takes a toll on is with his brother Forrest, since Forrest, in the eyes of many people, has never been deemed trustworthy. Ray finds it easy to keep the secret from him. However, what this situation does is it questions Ray if he truly loves his brother. Ray has a deep reflection about if he should tell Forrest about the money. An example is when Ray reflects the money can get him killed. Ray worries that if he tells his brother about the money, he will spend it on drugs, making his condition worse. As Forrest's drug addiction continues to get worse because of his father's death, if Ray was to give money to Forrest, he would be a burden to himself for continuing his brother's addiction. Forrest eventually speculates that his brother is keeping a secret from him, causing him to think that Ray was going to rip him off from the estate. An example of this is when Ray and a character named Harry Rex are speaking on the phone. Money not now, he says. Claims he's not broke, but he's concerned about the house and the estate and wants to make sure you don't screw him. Forrest's idea that Ray would screw him over is because he thinks that their father favored Ray more than him. And that's why he would get the majority of the money from the estate if he was to sell the house. This causes Forrest to distance himself from Ray. Ray's secret of the money affects his relationship with others. He is paranoid that if people were to find out about the money, they would want it for themselves. You can also see the impact of what keeping a secret does to Ray in his relationship with another character named Claudia. He had known Claudia for a large portion of life because she worked with the judge. But he began to question whether if she knew about the money and started to become suspicious of her. An example of this is when they are talking, then Claudia would know about the money. The judge and Claudia have always been close. Ray suspects that she knows about the money but is keeping it a secret from him. This is the start of his paranoia. The people that were close to the judge Atlee are suspects to Ray. The way he starts to distance himself from her is by lying to her. An example of this is when Ray tells her that there's only a small amount of money he found. The judge left six. It seems that Ray starts to lie to her because he feels as she doesn't need to know about it, even though she was fairly close to the judge. Ray's paranoia of Claudia knowing about the money is why he's mean to her. An example of this is when the narrator is explaining why they don't like each other. Ray and Claudia had never liked each other. He had always felt that she was getting the attention and the affection that he and Forrest were not, and she viewed him as a target as well. Ray's distrust in Claudia comes from his childhood and the connection she had with the judge. He suspects that she would know about the money and where it was hidden. However, this paranoia is only him. Claudia is innocent. Ray suspected she knew about the money. She would already have it. This is why Ray's paranoia about the money affects others around him. He uses his past experience with Claudia to suspect her of knowing about the money. Ray eventually starts to distrust everyone around him and wants to keep all of the money for himself. He starts to become paranoid of the people he doesn't know, and it feels that everybody is watching him or someone was following him at all times. An example of this is when Ray is putting money in a hotel and is confronted by a man. He's up to something, the old man yelled. He keeps going back and forth, back and forth. Goes that way, the bag is empty. Goes that way, the bag is full. This encounter with the old man sets Ray off that he's being watched. Ray eventually hires a private investigator to watch over him, thinking that people are out to get the money. This is why Ray starts to distance himself from others. He believes that others are going to try to steal the money that he has inherited, but this is only him. Another example that people are out to get the money is when he was robbed. Ray slowly removed the pistol from his pocket. The 27 green Blake & Son boxes are scattered around the judge's study. This is why he is paranoid. He is afraid that the people would kill him just for money. Another example of this is when he reflects about the robbery. The money could get me killed. Keeping the money a secret is what causes him to do all of this to the people in his life. He starts to become paranoid, and it progresses as the story continues as he discovers the truth to his father's motives. The relationships that Ray holds with people in general starts to suffer due to him keeping the secret of the money and the fact that he starts to distance himself from others. He starts to be suspicious of everyone and their true motives and is very paranoid about who knows about the money. He sees almost everybody that is close to him as a target, and this is what causes him to become distant to the people around him. However, all this is only in his head. Fours is innocent as Claudia is innocent as well. This paranoia is a sign to Ray that the money was only known by Judge Atlee himself, and that the judge's actions in the past are now affecting Ray as he is distrusting the people around him while trying to find the truth about the money. The book's purpose is to tell that a single object that is worth a lot can change a person's mind, as it can drive them mad, such as Ray's. Curiosity can kill the cat, as Ray almost experiences death in the story when he was robbed and confronted. All of this is just for money. The money tells a hidden story. It is this story which drives him mad of curiosity and justice. Thank you for watching, and here comes the end credits.
Hey!